personal development is personal, but it's not something you can do alone. And your dream team, what I call the dream team, are the people that support you through the journeys of personal development, the people that are there for you, the people that help guide you, that give you support. And so we're going to create a list of the dream team that you need to have on your side through life. I actually have an entire chapter of this in my book because it was one of the things that I really started to study. When we're looking at personal development, we're studying ourselves. We look at our limiting beliefs. We look at the ways that we're stopping ourselves. And a big thing for me is not asking for help. It's one of those limiting beliefs that I'm still working on, is asking for help. Hi, welcome to Say More Words, a podcast that was created to emphasize the human experience through stories. I hope that you come here to learn, to expand, and most importantly, learn how to say more words. Speak your story, speak your truth, boo-boo. We're so happy you're here. Hey, y'all. Happy day. Happy podcast day. Welcome back to Say More Words. How you doing? Are you doing good? At the time I'm recording this, we just had a blue moon, super moon, full moon situation, and things are kind of crazy around here. I was doing a presentation yesterday, and I said your body is 70% water, and the full moon affects your tides. So why would it not affect you as well? But for real though, why would it not? So just something to think about. I know there's tons of people who are like, oh, it's a woo-wee or whatever. And I'm like, no, if it's affecting the tides, it's affecting your watery butt too. So watery butt, that's disgusting. But you know what I mean. Hi. Let's take a deep breath together. The song of the day is Right by Your Side, or Right by My Side, by Nicki Minaj featuring Chris Brown. It came out in 2011. It popped up on my, y'all know I do with Siri, I do the play songs you think I would like, or songs that I need to hear. And that was one of the things she played today. And I was like, yes, girlfriend, yes. Here we go. So super, super fun. Super, it's a fun song. It's an upbeat song, but it goes along with the theme today. And today we're talking about your dream team. Your dream team, dream team, dream team. You've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. Personal development is personal, but it's not something you can do alone. It is not something you can do alone. And your dream team, what I call the dream team, are the people that support you through the journeys of personal development, the people that are there for you, the people that help guide you, that give you support. And so we're going to create a list of the dream team that you need to have on your side through life. I actually have an entire chapter of this in my book because it was one of the things that I really started to study. So here's why. Okay, when we're looking at personal development, we're studying ourselves. We look at our limiting beliefs. We look at the ways that we're stopping ourselves. And a big thing for me is not asking for help. Why? Because that was something that was placed on me as a child, that asking for help means you're a burden. If you ask for help, you're a problem. If you ask for help, they can't actually help. Just a multitude of different things. And so it's just very important to kind of be in the space of what does this actually, when you're looking at your limiting beliefs, where does it stem from and what does it actually mean? And is it true or not? That's kind of the path we go down for limiting beliefs. And when I had to work through, and I'm going to tell you, it's one of the hardest things. It's one of the hardest things for me to do still to this day. It's one of those limiting beliefs that I'm still working on, is asking for help. One, because it's that, I don't want to be a burden, but two, it's that belief that you should just be able to figure it out on your own. And I really had to start to work through that limiting belief. I really had to start digging through, the primal beings. Y'all know I love to go back primal. The sociology side of me is let's look at us when we are primal. Our primal beings, the way that we first began, could not survive on their own. Literally couldn't. Somebody had to be lookout, looking for animals and stuff. Somebody had to be a hunter. Somebody had to be a gatherer. Somebody had to, like take care of the kids. Somebody, like there was very specific roles that existed primarily, and we could not have done it alone. You've heard me talking about it before in sleep patterns, how there's some people who are night owls and there's some people who are morning people, and that's primal as well. We couldn't have all slept at the same time or been awake at the same time back in the day because it was a life or death situation. Somebody had to look out. Somebody had to keep post. Okay, somebody had to. And so in order for somebody to do that, like we had different patterns. Different people had to learn how to be at different times. Anyways, so when you go back primally and then you go through the generations, you see generational differences in which the view of help has changed and what it is to ask for help or to need people, not even asking for help, because some people have no problem asking for help. It's the need of others that people have a problem with. And so why it's important though, especially in personal development, but in all aspects of life, to have your dream team is because that's your support system. When, we're not being attacked by cougars regularly. And if you are, I apologize if that is a reality. But for the most part, those of us living, in the middle of Dallas, Fort Worth Metroplex or major metro, we're not being attacked by cougars and stuff. But we are being attacked daily by different things in life: negativity, stress, panic, worry, anxiety, confusion. And your dream team is there to help you through that space, to help you discover what different ways of thinking, different ways of showing up, to help you discover just a different version of you, but also to remind you of you. So we're going to talk about your dream team. You can call them your dream team, you can call it your life team, whatever. One of my favorite quotes I'm going to read to you, it's all about who stands in the rain with you when they could be dry if they wanted to. It's all about who helps you fight the cougars of modern day life when you thought you had to do it alone. And it's so very important to be specific with these people because they matter. So the first one on your team, and it's a weird place to start, but we're going to start there, and it's called the safe pessimist. They're sometimes called the devil's advocate, and I don't really like that. But having somebody in your life who, and by safe pessimists, right? So we do have optimists, we have pessimists, but the safe pessimist exists to question and wait for a response. So they question, they wait for a response, and then give feedback. That's why they're safe. Pessimists will just poo-poo all over everything. Safe pessimists will listen. So what does an interaction with that look like? So I have a friend who, if I have a ridiculous idea, I will ask him. I will ask him if he thinks it's a ridiculous idea. And then he will tell me, as a safe pessimist, he will tell me all of the things that he thinks are wrong with said idea. What that allows me to do is hear information that I didn't previously think of. I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that as an option. Like, I didn't think of that as a concern. Oftentimes, the safe pessimists give you ideas and places that you maybe weren't already thinking of. I like going to them also too, because it's like, I want to prove them wrong. And so I want to hear what all of their oppositions are so that I can prove them wrong. But they're safe in the sense that they don't call you stupid or think that you're stupid for your ideas. They just have questions. So maybe not even safe pessimist, but the questioner is a good person to have on your dream team. Next up, exact opposite, the eternal optimist. You need to have somebody on your team who thinks of joy first, always. And it's not, I talked recently about toxic positivity, and it's not the toxic positive person. It's the person who, no matter what, is going to try and find the light inside of the dark. They are going to hold you with care and concern. But they are also going to help you try and see the light in a situation as opposed to the dark in a situation. They'll ask questions. They'll look for solutions. And if all else fails, they'll be the person that picks you up at the end of the day. My eternal optimist is Chelsea Rose. She is joy it in human form. I like to say that she is the closest to Jesus I'll ever get until I get there to meet him myself. And she radiates joy. And so when I'm in a space where I start going downhill, she always shows up, whether I'm calling her or she's calling me, because sometimes she does that. Sometimes she does call and go, hey, I think you maybe need me. And I'm like, yeah, I do. So that's really cool. The no strings attached believer. They are the people who believe in everything. They have an emotional investment in what you're doing, how you're showing up, and they just believe. Belief is such an important thing to have in your life. It's something that a lot of people struggle with, believing in themselves. And I'll be honest, like even in the work that I do, and I do this work daily and I believe in others daily, sometimes I have a hard time believing in myself. So my dream team person exists to build and pour belief into me when I'm like, oh God, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I making the right decision? Is this the right path? What am I like? That there can be some confusion in life, and you do need to have that person that you can call who believes. Chelsea Rose is, your eternal optimist and your believer might be the same person. Chelsea Rose is mine. She just believes, she asks questions, and she is never in a place of doubt. And if you are doubting, then like your believer is the good person to go to, because they're the people that also breathe that life back into you. They remind you who you are, because sometimes that's exactly just the baseline what we're looking for when things are happening. This is my favorite. The hype man or hype woman, the people that are willing to be there to hype you up, to ask the questions, to say the hard things, to cheer you on, and be in the space of like overall hypeness. The containment person is next. So your containment person. So it's very important to find somebody who you can go to for containment. Not everybody can handle venting. Not everybody can handle the space where you are, where you need to be seen, heard, loved, cared for, and validated. And so the containment person is somebody that you can vent to, who you can verbalize any kind of strife or anything that's happening in your life, and they will kind of put it into a container to help move you along the way. So that containment person, they're very important. That's who, like when you need to vent, they go to. And it's what's very important too, especially like as you're like listening to this and you're like, who am I in other people's lives? If you are the containment person, what I have found in all of my containment people is that they are very good at asking, do you want solutions or did you just need to vent? Because sometimes we just need to vent. Sometimes you just need to cry. Sometimes you just need to get it out. And that does not mean that you're bad, that you're wrong, that you're not going to be successful, that you're not going to have a good day, any of these things. It doesn't mean any of that. What it does mean is that you're human and you're having a human experience, and you need somebody who's going to be the container for you in that human experience. Last but certainly not least is your abundance people, the people that you are around that bring you joy and happiness and the great emotions that bring on abundance. I am so very thankful that I am surrounded by people who believe in me, who hype me up, who do all of the things that I said before, but there are certain people in my life that when they show up, the abundance follows consistently and regularly every single time. And so you want to have the people in your space that exists, that are in that tribe of abundance. Now, this is like the people that are in your life, like your dream team. I also highly suggest a therapist. I highly suggest a coach of some kind, especially if you're a business owner. But you don't have to be a business owner in order to enjoy the fruits of coaching. In like, and whatever you call your people, it does not matter. It doesn't matter the name. It doesn't matter any of that. What does matter is how they show up, how they are in your life. If they're your best friend, they're your family, it does not matter what you call them. But you need to have these people in your life in order to be successful. Because when the hard days hit, your team is who's going to help lift you back up. So I want you to think about it. Think about who's on your team. Think about who you need to go to, who you need to add, what experiences you need to have with these people in order to create an environment in which you all can be successful. So I hope that helps. Hope you find your people. If you need people on your team, feel free to reach out. I will add in the show notes ways in which that you can work with me. I have special podcasting rates. So if you are listening to this and you're like, I really do need just like a one-off session to find myself and to kind of get some alignment, I'm your girl. I'm happy to help you. Those are in the show notes. If you would like and share this podcast, download the podcast and share it with your dream team and let them know what role they play in your life. That helps us to help other people. So I hope you have a great day. I'll see y'all next week.